Mm.
How are we starting this?
I thought I'd start by swallowing the tomato.
Yeah, that's helpful, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What's your favorite record?
I don't know. That's a hard one. So many.
What's your favorite record we've listened to this week?
This week? Well, I like the International Sweethearts of Rhythm. That's cool.
Yeah. I won't say the first record that I bought, but I do know the first record that I fell in love with. I was lucky enough that my mom kept her records, and I loved putting them on and playing them when I was young. And my favorite was like a girl group collection, and it was on the last song on the first side was Leader of the Pack by the Shangri-Las, and that was like, I just did so many renditions of that song, and to this day still love it and have lots of Shangri-Las records. But that record, it was the first record I coveted, that and my Muppet records. I think the first record I bought was from a garage sale though, and that was nice. It was like a quarter, you know, and I was a kid, and it was just more a toy than anything else, but I still loved it.
I know what it was. I don't know what I was doing that day, but I know for me it was Manic Street Preacher's single. They did a cover of Suicide is Painless from Theme from MASH. And I bought it for my sister. She had 2 copies for some reason.
That's such an intense song.
And she was like, yeah, and she like kind of taught me how to like she's like, oh, which one do you think I should sell you and stuff. And it was like one was a little bit better than the other. Like,
so she taught you how to grade records?
Yeah, basically, she taught me how to grade records.
Well, that's a good big sister.
Frog, I don't know what it is. It's all day. It's all day. It's when the windows are closed. I don't know what it is anymore. Maybe it's rendition. I thought it was electrical at one point.
I can see we have a double right here.
Oh, there's a few. There's the Mississippi Records point.
Oh, there's
like
a bunch
60
of doubles
under and
here.
stuff.
Which is kind of nice, because that's like where our collections crossed over. And it's, I mean, I think that when we met, we had a lot of the same kinds of music. It was really varied, but different records within that.
Ton of doubles.
No, I don't remember. I feel like the first records we really bought together, like aside from that memory of that, are like when we did that trip traveling around. I feel like that was maybe some more collaborative record shopping, and I wonder if it's because the countries we were going to had like less English spoken, that maybe we spoke more in record shops. I don't really like to talk to people in record shops. I just try to like, I enjoy relaxing and systematically going through them, and I don't always want to chat about it. So it took us a while to find a good record shopping rhythm. Because I think you're a little more collaborative. You're a little more like sharing
with somebody,
fun records and stuff. Whereas I think I can be a little serious. Like, I'm on the dig. What are you talking about? Yeah. But that's okay. I feel like that trip, because we had like one backpack, we really had to make decisions together.
Yeah.
I feel like neither of us really... Usually it's me that like is like, oh my god, and just starts like piling up a big pile and being like, no need to listen, I'll just take this back. I don't know. It depends on the day.
Well, it's like anticipation, isn't it? You get the anticipation, like, what am I going to find? Like, what?
Some days I'm, like, excited and, like, what am I going to find? And some days I'm, like, just doing the dig to sort myself out. I don't know that I'm necessarily, like, as, like, energetic about it. Like, not energetic, but, like, I don't know. Yeah, it depends on the day.
It depends what the shop's like, because some shops are a bit daunting as well.
Yeah, and it depends on how comfortable, like, I guess everybody's, like, different heights and stuff, so, and there are, like, a lot of different shops that we go into that are various sizes, like, rent can be quite high, and, I mean, if this is, like, our records when we're trying to hold back, I can't imagine if we were, like, we're in the business of selling records, and, like, just got really into buying stuff. I feel like we, too, could end up in, like, a cubby, like, under shelves of records, but yeah, those stores can be, like, so exciting to dig, and then they can, on a day that you're just, like, not up for it or you don't have the time, they can be super daunting and more uncomfortable. Like, if I can, or, like, if there's not a place for me to, like, wedge or it's difficult, I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's a range of emotions. You're always hoping that you're gonna, like, find an amazing record that you really want, and I think at this point we can both walk into most places and find something of interest to us.
Yeah.
Sure. But now it's a question of, is it something that we really want in the context of what we have?
Yeah.
But I feel like I map out, like, things I want to do with our records and, like, just ways that I want to kind of connect dots and study things and compile kind of, like, archives or data from and of the records. And I think once I get into those projects, I think it'll shape a new way of buying again. Like, I think the dig will be much more focused again. Because, yeah, I think previously when we were both DJing, like, the dig has such a sense of purpose. And not that it doesn't have a sense of purpose now, but I look forward to, like, the way my activities are going to dictate and shape what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I think the ultimate record's so personal to everyone, because I think, like, what it inspired, like, for me, like, I have these ultimate records that are just, like, the things that drive me. Like, it is this very, like, private, personal thing. I think I felt really lucky in meeting you that, like, it was somebody who understood that and respected that and had their own relationship to it. That, like, yeah, because it's this thing that, like, it's also these tangents. Like, any record's a tangent to so many different ideas and thoughts, whether it's inspired by the music or, like, looking up the artists within it. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's so much more open-ended to be, like, searching out these records than, I don't know. That ISIS record that I was talking about earlier, like, has this song on it, like, Ain't No Backing Up Now, and, like, if I just, like, need to amp myself up, yeah, like, because it makes me, like, connect to, like, the women creating it, and I'm just, like, I don't know, I think, yeah, like, and I wouldn't even say that's my ultimate record, but I think
that tune is kind of, like, rocky but funky, and
the
chants almost, like,
it's got so much love in it. But then, like, the International Sweethearts of Rhythm that we were playing, like, earlier while we were eating and stuff, like, that record, like, there's an amazing documentary, A Girl in the Band, and it's about women in jazz. And it has, like, some beautiful footage of that band, which were, like, the first interracial, all-female, like, big band to really, like, have any motion and, like, play, like, in a world that was so resistant to women as musicians, but even just, like, these dynamics of these individuals. They started off as, like, a high school kind of band and became this thing. And I think, yeah, I don't know, I like that when listening to these records that those efforts aren't lost, that those intentions have, like, been fulfilled in a way by having an audience, having people to love it and hear it and want to pass it around or share it. And I think that there's something really beautiful about that, like especially like being an artist and creating stuff, to think that someone else could find that and have their own connection to it, and then also see me and what I'm trying to do within it. And I hope that, like, for a lot of these records, the way I love them is in the way that they would be into me loving them. Like, yeah.
Properly recorded and stuff.
I feel like we're building a little library. Something to, like, a curated collection of stuff that, like, we feel like it's worth keeping around for the next generation to find. Like, I don't know. I think so many records are so lost to, like, bowls and floors and walls and, you know, like garbage bins, and it's waste. And I think, like, people, I don't know, like with the digital world, do you really get to own music anymore in that same way? Like the record, you don't own the music, but you own the experience. You really get to just put it on and jump back into that feeling, that moment whenever you want. There's such a beautiful thing about being able to, like, put on a record and recall a memory and, like, just be transported right there.